Huntsville, Alabama, where the rockets are literal and the housing market is apparently also launching. Veronetta Johnson has been watching this city's real estate story unfold, and it turns out the most important number isn't the listing price.
That's right. Today we're looking at what's actually driving housing demand in Huntsville: corporate relocations, employment growth, and what smart buyers pay attention to before the rest of the market catches on. Let's start with what agents here know that most buyers simply don't.
The premise of this piece is that most buyers are looking at the wrong data. Square footage, curb appeal, current comps, those matter, but they're not what's moving Huntsville's market. The real question is, what's underneath the price trends? And why does it matter who's hiring?
The Post puts it plainly. Employment growth remains one of the strongest indicators of long-term housing appreciation. Companies do not simply bring jobs, they bring consumers, taxpayers, entrepreneurs, and families.
So every hiring announcement is quietly also a housing demand announcement. That's the mechanic buyers miss. Jobs don't just fill offices, they fill neighborhoods.
And Huntsville's employment base makes this especially durable. The Post points to aerospace, defense contracting, engineering, cybersecurity, biotechnology, and manufacturing. Institutions like NASA and Redstone Arsenal anchoring a steady pipeline of highly educated professionals. That diversification matters because it insulates the market from single industry downturns.
There's also a purchasing power angle here that's easy to overlook. Relocating professionals often arrive from California, Virginia, Colorado, Maryland, markets where Huntsville prices look practically modest by comparison.
Right, and that creates upward pressure on pricing even in segments that feel expensive to local buyers. The Post notes that rental markets feel this first. New arrivals typically rent before buying, which tightens inventory and lifts rates. And as rents climb, more residents decide ownership makes better financial sense long term.
The ripple goes further than most people track.
It does. School districts, infrastructure investment, commercial development, the Post walks through each as a compounding factor. Strong schools attract more buyer competition, road and utility expansions increase desirability in adjacent areas, retail and healthcare growth enhances neighborhood appeal. These aren't separate stories. They're all downstream of the same employment wave.
And agents who track zoning changes, contractor announcements, and out-of-state inquiry patterns can see demand building before it shows up in the public data.
That's the core argument. Relocation-driven appreciation isn't random. It's tied to measurable economic activity, which means it's readable, if you know what to look for.
Jobs move, people follow, housing markets shift, and the buyers who understand that sequence tend to be the ones who aren't surprised by what happens next.
In a market like Huntsville, that early read on where demand is heading may be the most valuable thing a buyer can have.